WNBA free agency has been a whirlwind, but it seems to be giving us a day to calm down. Most of the big free agents have found homes, but there is one question that I just cannot get out of my head, and that is, what the heck is going on with Chennedy?
ChennedyCarter just sabotaged her career on national television.
For this team, and I know that I need to be in shape, I need to be ready to go, I need to be mentally ready, physically ready. So all of those things were coming into play while I was sick, while I was out. There were still things that I was doing basketball oriented, so that when I come back, you guys are like, oh, it's kind of like she didn't miss a beat. Yeah, because you still have to work when you're sleeping and you're sick and things like that.
In an instant, she went from a rising star to someone no team wants to deal with. But here's the crazy part. It's not just about that shove on CaitlinClark.
I mean, that's clear, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? ChennedyCarter.
This is just the latest chapter in a long saga of drama, poor choices, and team meltdowns.
It was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? ChennedyCarter.
With Clark, it was a moment that shook the entire league. A scene so raw and unfiltered, it felt straight out of a sports drama.
Rebecca Lobo joining us, and you were on the call for this one. And the moment I saw the play happen, Rebecca, I knew the internet would literally catch fire because it would feed a dangerous narrative for the women's game. And
the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever were locked in an intense showdown, the kind of game where emotions run high with every possession.
And
Clark was putting on a clinic, scoring with ease, running the offense like a maestro, and leaving defenders looking helpless in real time.
A locked-in face.
Locked-in face.
Clark, a deep three. You bet. CaitlinClark has spoken like someone who's voted.
Or whose kids have.
Mitchell on another three.
She was the spark, the main attraction. The player everyone in the arena couldn't take their eyes off.
It's a board or a turnover and push pace the other way. First in the league in fast break points.
Clark connects on a deep three.
There was ChennedyCarter. She wasn't just playing defense. She was on a mission. The frustration in her every move was impossible to miss.
By 9 in the fourth, and on the shoulders of Aaliyah Boston and CaitlinClark, Indiana comes storming back for a 4-point win in overtime. The Fever have had a lot of signature wins this year, a lot of victories over big opponents. But in terms of facing adversity, not many like they overcame here tonight.
Every time Clark made a play, it showed in Carter's body language, gritted teeth, sharp glances, heavy breaths. The tension between them grew, like a ticking time bomb ready to explode.
He hits her with a pump fake, and coming down hard is ChennedyCarter. That looks like it hurt.
Out of nowhere, Carter delivered a full-force shove to Clark's side, sending her stumbling off balance. This wasn't a typical foul or a tough contest. It was pure, calculated aggression. For a split second, the entire arena fell silent, like someone hit the mute button on reality. Players froze, fans gasped, and referees hesitated, trying to process what had just happened. One scout in the building reportedly said, "I've never seen anything like it." Because this wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. A message, loud and clear.
Playing this one. Indiana, at least in the fourth quarter, an 8-3 rebounding advantage. Clark pulls, fires, hits, 4-3.
Carter wasn't just fouling Clark. She was challenging her, targeting her, maybe even trying to humble her. But here's the problem. The WNBA has no room for that kind of behavior. For those acting surprised by Carter's actions, let's be honest, they haven't been paying attention. This wasn't an isolated lapse in judgment or a heat-of-the-moment mistake. It's a pattern, a predictable flashpoint from a player who's left a trail of burned bridges behind her. 4 teams. 4 locker rooms. 4 exits filled with tension, drama, and controversy. That's not bad luck. That's a reputation problem. A player with Carter's talent should be thriving in the league, yet she's treated like a volatile stock, too risky to invest in. Coaches don't just give up on skilled players unless there's something deeper at play. And with Carter, that's something.
ChennedyCarter now with 12 points off the bench. And Clark. I mean, that's clearly which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? ChennedyCarter.
Think back to her early days with the Atlanta Dream. It wasn't just issues. She nearly came to blows with her own teammate, Courtney Williams, during a heated locker room dispute. The team suspended her indefinitely, and her WNBA career almost ended right there. Fast forward to her time with the Los Angeles Sparks, another disaster. She wasn't benched because of poor performance. She was benched for her conduct. Poor leadership, an unwillingness to be coached, and constant clashes with teammates defined her stint. It's been the same story, over and over. So when Carter shoved Clark, it wasn't just a dirty play, it was the final straw. The moment the thin ice had...
We're in front of an amazing home crowd. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. It feels good. I think Skytown really showed up and showed out for us tonight. And it's just great to have fun like that and have a game with that type of atmosphere and get a good win. Good team win.
You dropped 23 points on 8 from 12. What was your mindset going into this game?
I think the coaching staff and my teammates do a good job of just instilling confidence in me, letting me know, like, I'm a bucket. And when I get to my spot, there's no one that can stop me. So it's just my confidence in my teammates feeding me the ball, things like that.
And then you guys were down by 15 at one point and came all the way back to win by 1. What do you like about what your team's displaying?
I think tonight we just showed heart. We showed fight and we showed no give up until the buzzer was off. And I think when we play like that, we're a hard team.
Cracked. In sports, mistakes happen. Players get caught up in the heat of competition. But what separates those who move forward from those who fall off is accountability. And that's exactly where Carter failed. Again, after the incident, she had two choices, own it or deflect. She chose the latter. Instead of acknowledging her actions, she doubled down. When reporters pressed her about the situation, she didn't show remorse, didn't offer an explanation. Instead, she smirked and shut down every question about it.
Carter will pull up.
Couple headers on the ESPN family of networks.
Yeah, that was going to be fun. A lot of...
Turned a 6-point deficit into a 7-point advantage in this.
I'm not answering any Clark questions, she snapped, with the kind of arrogance that makes executives and coaches shake their heads. It wasn't just dismissive. It was proof she didn't care, proof she wasn't learning. And in a league that values character just as much as talent, that's the kind of response that ends careers. Because here's the truth. Talent alone doesn't cut it in the WNBA. Professionalism matters. Attitude matters. And Carter has spent years proving she lacks both. She's had multiple chances to change the narrative, golden opportunities to rebuild her image. But at every turn, she's chosen ego over growth. That's why no team wants to take a chance on her anymore.
On the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the few.
I ain't answering no CaitlinClark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
The WNBA wasn't about to let this slide. The league wasted no time handing down a flagrant foul, an official statement that the hit on CaitlinClark was more than just aggressive defense. The words they chose were deliberate, *unnecessary*, and *reckless star. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist, it was a direct condemnation of Carter's actions, a clear line drawn in the sand.
This is what you get with Carter back in the lineup. The pace. Pull up 15-footer. She connects.
The ripple effects were immediate. Front offices across the league took notice. Scouts and executives in the arena had already seen enough. Before that night, some might have viewed Carter as a high-risk,